Braun makes a statement to the Beast. A historic tag match goes down. A surprise appearance from the franchise, and more than one match ends real quick. The party of the summer ain't over yet.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Surprise!
Back.
Free agents in the house.
Back. Free agent.
It's like Fantasy League when you have to do the free trades.
Free agent, you could be anywhere. He could show up here.
Oh, he could. We could trade out Hobo. We wouldn't trade out Hobo.
No, he would.
No, please.
Never.
Send me to Raw. I'm not going to stop you.
And I'm going to follow him. He could sit on 2 seats. It'd be amazing. So yeah, when you're a free agent, you can do anything you want and go anywhere you want, and that's what happened on Raw tonight, which, yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is the Raw After Show on AfterBuzz TV. What's up, everybody? We got the full squad here with you the night after SummerSlam and the party of the summer. Still going strong with SmackDown Live tomorrow also at Barclays Center. It's going to, wow, 4 nights in a row.
4 in a row.
Yeah.
Woo. And you were there for one of them, Johnny.
I was there for TakeOver.
Yep.
Nice.
How
How was Barclays? Was it like as loud as it was tonight? I mean, were they feeling it?
Oh gosh, so loud. I mean, but they were... Tonight they weren't respectful. Tonight is almost like when you know when you go to Vegas by night 3, you're just completely out of it. You're not behaving. You're delirious. That was tonight. TakeOver, they were not annoying like the Full Sail crowd. They were just awesome for everybody.
Into it.
Yeah, there were a couple chances, but really they just appreciated every match was so good. Now, granted, we all know the storylines leading into this TakeOver weren't great. Not all of them. But the performances, whoa, boy. Yeah. And then, of course, the ending. Wow. I mean, the crowd went nuts. For people who are wondering, oh, is this audience going to know who Ring of Honor guys are? They sure did.
Yeah, they knew, huh?
Okay.
They'll know what a takeover, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after everything went off the air, of course, they walked back up the ramp, and Adam Cole did his patented, and 16,000+ people right there with him.
All right.
So pretty neat. Anyways, let's get to the intros. I'm at Jay Quasto, Jonny Loquasto. That man right there. He was a writer for Comedy Central. He's also a writer for Disney's Babel right now. Also working on a short film with the great Rocky Romero. And he's a Second City veteran and director. Ladies and gentlemen, Marc Warzecha.
Guys, I came in 48th out of 108 people in the AfterBuzz SmackDown prediction poll.
Congrats.
I think that equates to about a D- letter grade, which is about what I used to get in school all the time. So it seems about right.
You're like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. You still passed.
I still passed. I squeaked by.
Good. So
I squeaked by.
So wait, you did the predictions for what? All of SummerSlam?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a poll. It was like 20 questions of who would win what match, and there were some other things. What match would go first? Who would come out?
Yeah.
Did things like that.
I didn't think we could do that because we work here.
We can do it. We just are not allowed to win the prizes.
Oh, okay.
So
Got
even
it.
if I'd won, I could not claim my prize.
Yeah.
I would have had to get. I would given it generously to one of our listeners.
Yeah, they actually have some pretty fun little prizes.
Yeah.
Like there were Funko Pop dolls
Right.
before. I don't know.
Wow, I didn't know
is
that.
saying dolls okay? Funko Pop action figures.
Action figures, please. I do not play with dolls.
There's not a whole lot of action to those Funko
They're
Pops.
just
They don't
They,
move.
they, they got the bobble action.
Just figures.
Figures.
Yeah,
Well, they're all
Thank you, Mark.
non-action figures.
Yeah.
They're almost like the old
As-
rubber wrestling figures. All you can do is throw them out your window and watch them bounce.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what I did with them. But anyways, that man right there, former Hollywood Heritage Champion for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He has worked for the WWE, SmackDown Live, Raw, NXT, and also overseas. Find him on Twitter at True Hobo. He's the Boxcar Superstar. He's the Hobo.
Yeah, it's me. I wrestled at a hot sauce expo yesterday in Anaheim.
Woo! What kind of
Very-
hot sauce?
All kinds of hot sauce. There were more hot sauces than I knew what to do with.
They had a ring up there?
They did. It was an AWS sponsored event, so alternative wrestling show sponsored event.
That's alternative.
And there were a lot of people there, and all of them were interested to see what kind of action the wrestlers were bringing that day. It was great because it was center of the entire festival. Everybody got to watch. Even the vendors took time out to take a look, and I lost my match, but it was all right. I got out of the ring in my trunks, and I went to every booth, and everybody respected my lack of pants.
Whoa,
Yeah.
wait a second.
And they said you deserve some hot sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Question.
I am pretty hot.
Of course
without
you
any
are.
pants on.
Now,
There you go.
I'm intrigued by this. So, a hot sauce festival, if you will. You go to each stand. Do they have, obviously, samples on what? Chips or bread? Like, how do you sample the hot
Well,
sauce?
there were just a whole bunch of different ways you could do it. They also had stuff for mixers for spirits and spirits
Oh.
themselves. But there was
hello.
a Tabasco booth, and what they did was they gave you a little cup of popcorn that you could sample the sauces on. You put it on the popcorn, pop it in your mouth.
Yeah.
It was really great. Tabasco, I'm not a fan of the original, but they have a lot of different flavors now that I'm like, well, I would actually like this if this was something I could get my hands on.
And it was
Okay.
there's a full-on wrestling show.
Yep.
So was hot sauce involved in any of the matches?
Yeah.
There had to be sriracha
please,
in the
please.
eyes somewhere.
Now,
please, no.
I of course bit some fingers, but unfortunately, I did not have any hot sauce.
Was
to
there
put
an
on
old
said
was there an
fingers.
Old Bay seasoning spot by chance?
No, unfortunately there was not.
Oh,
but
man.
next year, hopefully, we can rectify some of these terrible injustices.
You got to come prepared next
Oh
time.
yeah, definitely.
Good deal. And the lady next to me, see her every single week on Marvel Movie News, Screen Junkies News, and she just taught me about a show called Iron Fist, which is lovely. Find her on Twitter at Markeia McCarty. She's Markeia McCarty.
Yeah. No, I totally did. It was nice. It was succinct. It was just a little bit like, hey, here's why you might enjoy Iron Fist.
Wait, nobody enjoyed Iron Fist.
No,
Markeia.
but it's like
of all the ones to recommend.
He doesn't watch, TV.
I really don't. I mean, I wish I could.
Start with Jessica Jones.
So no,
Sure.
if he started with Iron Fist, then like Daredevil and Jessica
would all
Jones
be
would like
uphill.
blow his mind.
Well, here's the thing.
And he would
You
love
get
Luke
warmed
Cage.
up, Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I got to catch up on Preacher
way to do
first.
it.
But, I don't even know
Which
if I'm ever going to
It's
do
a
that.
fantastic show.
But last but very, very not least, he is the man on the ones and twos. He is the Wizard of Our Oz. Find him on social media at Mark B. Donica with a C. He's Mark B. Donica.
Wait, Mark Donica with a C?
Yeah.
What?
Mark with a C.
No,
No.
it's not.
I'm Mark. I'm a Mark with a C.
He's
Yes.
M-A-R-K.
Mark is M-A-R-K, which is why we do
Yeah.
not get
Right.
along.
That's
the
right.
Marks with the C's and a K's
Hey.
are
It's
a blood feud.
in a Mark civil war.
I'm Markeia, so we don't get
Whoa.
along.
Well, I'm Johnny with no H. Technically, that means I'm with Mark.
Well,
So-
Hobo, where do you
Hobo,
stand?
Hobo.
where do you stand,
Settle this
dude?
for us, Hobo.
Where do you
Don't
stand?
put me in the middle.
Come on, hot
You're
sauce,
literally
bring
in
it.
the middle.
And special guest referee, the Boxcar Superstar.
I want to see y'all fight it out. Keep
Okay.
it real dirty. Grab weapons. I don't care. Bite a man's ear off. Go for it. I want blood. Tons of it.
So much hot sauce everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
right.
actually what Bray Wyatt poured on Finn Balor last week.
Is that what it was?
Oh,
That was the
that's
viscous
what it
liquid.
was.
The viscous liquid was hot
Viscous
sauce.
Yeah.
acidic list.
Yeah, right. Well, it
Yeah.
is acidic.
It is. And
Must've been like-
vinegar, some.
Yeah, Chulola
Yeah.
or something.
Sorry,
'cause
Mark. It's
he weathered it fine.
Mark with a K. That's my lack of sleep. That's my bad.
Yeah, well, it's not from my lack of a K.
No, you definitely have.
Yeah.
You have
Hi,
all-
Johnny.
you-
Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to be back here on the Raw After Show. And while you guys were talking about NXT, I just wanted to give a quick shout out. This Wednesday at 4 p.m., the NXT team, which is Hobo, Bill Hanstock, and myself, we're going to be covering TakeOver Brooklyn 3 on the network. So make sure to join us 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be talking about all of the things that happened, baby.
I love it.
I just learned something new right now.
That's not true.
Hot sauce?
You're
No,
booked, buddy. You're
baby.
booked.
At 4 p.m., we're going to be covering NXT Brooklyn 3
Oh,
at 4 p.m.
You just found out
Pacific.
about that?
Yep.
Tomorrow?
Ooh.
No, Wednesday.
Yes,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Good deal.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a show. I mean, man, and best part is that one event really just gave us new storylines, like just so quick. And I thought NXT really needed some kind of rejuvenation, and I feel like TakeOver did that and really opened some doors.
They do a good job in general, I think, at takeovers of saying this chapter of the story is over now, and we're moving on to new stories.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty abrupt, and it's very exciting to see. So, looking forward to it. First off, leading off Raw, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman hit the ring, and I predicted that Brock would retain. Not many people thought he would. I'm so glad he did. And Paul Heyman was on the top of his game once again, saying that he beat the odds. From here on out, if there's any conquering to do, it will be done by the conqueror, Brock Lesnar himself. They were just having fun tonight. Before, of
Yeah.
course, Braun came out. They were having a great time.
Wait, who came out?
Believe it or not, these headphones are working perfect tonight, so the sound is just right.
I made sure that you had the best ones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So luckily, Braun won't startle me like usual.
Brock actually smiled on his way to the ring. That's how happy he was.
He's having a
It's
great
very
time.
weird to see him smile. I don't like it. It's creepy. It's creepy.
It's like how you imagine a shark would be when they smell chum. And
Yeah.
you're like,
We're watching a gorilla bare its teeth. It's not a smile, it's a grimace. It's a sign that they're actually agitated and want to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a war sign.
Yes.
And Paul was having a great time. I was waiting for him to start singing Glory, Glory, Brock Lesnar again. That would have been perfect. But no time, because Braun Strowman marches down to that ring.
Yes, he did.
And first off, can we talk about that main event last night?
Awesome.
It was everything
Awesome.
we ever could have asked for, and I think even then some. Those four, it was like they had the cheat code for unlimited lives. And just non-stop for like a half hour.
Yeah,
Johnny just made
fantastic.
a video game reference.
It was a 1980s, 90s video, but yeah, sure. I know video games if it's a certain era.
Awesome match, hard hitting. All four guys were graded. I thought it was so smart the way they had played into Heyman's promos leading up to the event, because Heyman kept saying these guys are going to team up. The three of them are going to team up, and they're going to get Lesnar out of the match, and then one of them is going to win the title without having to pin Lesnar. And they did that, and they got him out of the match, and then he came back.
Dude, when he
Loved
when he dumped the announcer's table on him, I was like, oh no.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a lesson in how you can make four people as vicious as humanly possible. Even Roman Reigns grabbing those stairs and using the edge of the stair on Braun Strowman's head and busting his ear open.
Oof.
The level of pain is indescribable. I've been hit in the ear before, and it just makes you want to quit.
Yeah.
It just makes you want to, forget it. I'm done. I'm leaving.
It's like, time out.
Oh my God.
We need to
Pounding
stop.
on the side of his head, I was just shaking.
Have you ever had an office chair tossed directly at your head?
I have not, no.
Do you want one?
Yeah, kind of. That's why I know how to handle it in the future.
Doesn't it look almost fun, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a sec. I'll be right in the studio.
All right, I'll be here.
And what about Roman Reigns? Brock beat Roman Reigns last
Yeah.
night. That was a shock too.
I
None of us
predicted that.
Wait
I said
a minute.
I said
Yeah.
he would be the weakest link.
I agree.
I did say that
'Cause
he
think
would be
about
the
it.
one that was pinned.
Braun
Good
ain't getting
call.
pinned.
Yeah.
Joe
Good
ain't
call,
getting
Markeia.
pinned. And if Brock's going to retain, it's going to have to be Roman.
There you go.
It was.
I was hoping it would be Samoa Joe, but hey, I knew it was going to be Reigns that would get pinned. As in, Samoa
Kudos.
Joe would win, but Reigns would get pinned. Yeah.
Man, that main event was so fun to watch. I just got back to my hotel in time. I was like, I got to see this main event. And got to watch it live, and it was like it was so electric from start to finish. And then when Brock retained, I was like, wow, okay.
There you go. I see you, WWE. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we're not going to predict anything John Jones-wise, but I mean, they really played that card well for him to retain. Now, of course, tonight, Braun Strowman comes out to the ring and destroys him, not quite as much, but yeah, a couple of power slams, puts him down.
He walked out. He left standing really, really tall. Brock Lesnar was the one who was laid out. He was laid out last night from Braun Strowman. He was laid out tonight from Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman has Brock Lesnar's number.
Yeah.
He might be the one guy to be able to tip the balance of power and take that belt.
And it's pretty awesome.
They have done a great job with Braun Strowman. He has risen to the occasion. He feels like a legitimate contender for this title, and a legitimate competition for Lesnar. It's awesome.
And to Braun's credit, as much as he is all about the violence, and you could speak to this as well, everything he did to Lesnar last night was done perfectly. Like, even the power slams on the announcer's table, he cradled him just like a little baby. And, like, whereas, like, someone like Nia Jax, God knows what she's going to do to those poor women. But, like, Braun Strowman, for being so young in the game like he is, wow, whoever's been teaching him, he's got to be a quick learner, because he's just killing it.
I mean, he survived a head-on collision in an ambulance. Surely he can survive Brock Lesnar.
He said, leave me alone.
Or a tail-on collision.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
I guarantee you, if I'm in an ambulance and it crashes, I'm not going to be yelling, leave me alone. I'll be like, come get me!
I'm not sure Lesnar can hit the F5 on Strowman. He didn't last night. I'm questioning whether or not he is physically able to do so at this present time.
Sure.
He's done it too, Big Show.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
He was younger and sprier.
He was. He certainly was. So now I'm left questioning, is he getting a little long in the tooth to play a game where he's got that much of a disadvantage on somebody?
Well, we're
And
gonna
he's doing USADA testing again, so he does not have any extra help.
Well, we are going to find out September 24th, because the main event is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, and you can't in LA actually. So in our backyard,
Ooh,
you can't ask for a much better main event than that.
It's pretty strong. Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Awesome.
I mean, let's see, Lesnar and Joe That was what, about 12 minutes tops? I wonder.
It was shorter than that, I think. Or maybe, yeah, maybe
with
in there.
entrances, maybe, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like Lesnar and Braun, I feel like they could really go, like, tell a story. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, I really enjoyed the story that he told with Big Show, so I would be very much interested in this main event with him and Lesnar. I mean, they already kind of showed the flavor that they would give to it, so it's like, yeah, let's just have the two of them in there and let them tussle.
Tussle.
Yeah.
Put Heyman in a shark cage.
Yeah.
Give him a stick of butter so he can lube himself up and slide.
Try to slide out.
Yeah.
He'd have to have some ribs removed. I don't think he could squeeze his buttered body through
He
those
needs the
bars.
jaws of life to like open it up a little bit.
Speaking of which, was anyone shocked that all of a sudden there's now a shark cage toy that they're selling?
They've been selling it for a while.
Yeah, they've had it for a
Johnny.
while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, that makes
I
sense.
didn't
The
know
shark
that.
cage.
Well, that's a great transition into our first match of the night. Enzo and Big Cass, they're not done yet. A Brooklyn street fight. Enzo brings out an entire garage full of dad's toys, and it still doesn't matter. Cass destroys him. He rams him with the grocery cart, and then it looks like it's about to end. Cass goes for the big boot. He flies over the top rope, injures his knee, and he cannot finish, even going for the Empire Elbow. And Enzo wins via injury. And a lot of people on the internet were kind of freaking out about this because odd way to
Well,
end.
WWE has announced that there is indeed a legitimate.
Oh, really?
Yes, they have.
Yeah, he really hurt
No,
himself.
his knee.
You knew it had to be legit because Enzo actually won a match.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, they've just been having Enzo get pounded this entire time. But
Oh, and
why would
he
they
did.
change it now? Why
Yeah,
would
he
they do
definitely
that?
got,
So yeah.
got his ass
Oh,
handed
that's
to
bad
him.
news. I was thinking it was
Ugh.
just a way for this to continue.
No.
I do not know what to expect next. Last night it was Big Show and Cass, and that match was kind of strange in its own way. But Cass was able to pick up the victory nonetheless. But tonight against Enzo in a street fight, Enzo was a step ahead, and it was that momentary switch in the way things were moving, and that was it. He just wasn't able to recover after that.
I actually see they showed the replay, but I didn't get a good look at it. I couldn't actually tell how he landed.
And his leg was kind of bunched under him. It was kind of forward at most. I think he may have. It's hard to tell exactly what happened. It was probably the outside of his left knee, just looking at the way everything was twisting.
I don't even want to. I can't see that stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. I really hope it's not anything that requires surgery because he's just hitting that stride.
It's really tough timing.
I mean, it wasn't that he put all of his weight on it and it went sideways. It's that his leg was sideways and it might have strained something.
Did he bang his knee or land on his foot? That's my concern.
He landed on the side of his leg. Like it wasn't necessarily
A foot twist.
No, it wasn't.
Thank God.
So he may have strained the outside of his left knee.
Okay,
which
then
is
that's
the-
a lot easier. Okay, my worry was that he landed on his foot and his leg twisted.
No.
That screams ACL. That screams PCL.
It did not
meniscus.
look like that.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe all his weight maybe he just bruised the hell out of his LCL.
Yeah.
I mean, worst comes to worst. If he dislocated his kneecap, that's bad news.
No, wasn't a patella.
Okay,
Could've
he
been.
didn't land directly on
No,
it.
it was on the side. Yeah.
Then let's hope
He
it's
got
just
lucky. If it is an injury, I'd imagine it to be a lower grade injury. I don't think this is going to need surgery, but obviously he's going to have to come back.
because
So-
the LCL doesn't require surgery or MCL. Really, it's just healing time. Which with their kind of physical therapy they have down there, it can happen pretty quick.
So hopefully, worst case scenario, we have Cass and some crunches and a sassy mouth Enzo for like a few weeks.
Or some videos where Enzo tries to come over to his house and take care of him because he's still in such love with him.
Oh no!
Brings him chicken soup
Maybe.
and chocolates. Tries to nurse him back to health.
Oh,
And then like Cass
Cass
has to
keeps
like he
kicking him out.
decoupages a restraining order on his door.
man. It makes you wonder what would have happened, though. Obviously, Cass would have destroyed him. Would this have been, because even Enzo said it ends tonight, would this have finally been the end if all went according to plan? That's an interesting question.
I hope so. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to see these guys wrestle each other anymore when this
I
match
really
started
don't.
tonight.
But I love watching what Cass is doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love what Cass is doing.
Cass is compelling.
Yeah, he needs to
really
move
is.
on from Enzo, though.
He's earned the casshole chant, so
Yeah.
you know
Oh,
it's great.
Yeah.
So, Markeia, what would you do? He's already taken out Big Show. What would you do next?
Okay, well,
For Cass.
it looks like they have Cena wrapped up in the Roman Reigns thing.
I don't know. It could have been a one-night thing.
It could have been a one-night thing, and if so, then you have an opportunity with Cass there with Cena. Be like, oh, I don't like your face. I'm coming up. You know, you need to go back to SmackDown. You could take that route with it, and also what you could do with it. What's the status on both of the Revival? I know one of them is out.
Oh no, he'll
Dawson.
Dawson's out,
Dawson's out.
but Scott's still. You know,
He'll be out quite some time.
That's a possibility.
What about
Could
Jason
play
Jordan?
that.
Anybody can beat up Jason Jordan anytime.
Oh, okay.
There's always Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan and Cass. That's perfect.
They're saying
works.
that Asuka got hurt as well.
Broken collarbone.
Yeah, collarbone.
When the hell did she do that? She finished the match.
She is a warrior.
Yeah, she's a yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
She could probably, you know, get her head chopped off and still finish a match.
Right.
Yeah, I don't doubt her ability, but it's
Oh,
probably a hairline.
That's what I'm
Or
hoping.
you would notice if somebody broke their collarbone in the middle of a match over.
Yeah, that's a
It's gotta be a
procedure.
hairline.
That's a surgery procedure, so it
Yeah.
must be something
Gotta be a
that
hairline.
heals over 2 months.
And it's
so.
it's a short amount of time.
And with NXT, I mean, the fact that she won again, she can just be cocky every week and say, no one challenges me, and they could just
She goes on vacation all the time on the show.
Yeah.
She'll just do stuff at her palatial estate. She's doing really well, you guys.
I love the tweet that Ember Moon sent out where she's like, oh, you know, feel better. That sucks. Hashtag karma.
Hashtag what goes around.
Actually, my favorite tweet from the weekend was when Candice LeRae put out a tweet saying, someone is very lucky I wasn't there tonight. Because obviously, you know, Zelina Vega threw the T-shirt at Gargano and distracted him, which led to Almas's win. And so she didn't tag Zelina in it. But then Zelina followed that tweet up with, new phone, who dis?
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
It was fantastic. So moving on, we hope Big Cass. We hope the news is very good following that injury. Emma's pissed off that she's not champion backstage, talking to her old best friend, and I can't even think of the name.
Dana
Brooke.
Dana Brooke.
Yes, Dana Brooke.
I guess it's been a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Been a minute. No, I just legit can't think of anything right now. That's my fault. Emma's mad that she's not champion right now, and she tells Dana Brooke all about it. She starts talking smack about Nia Jax, who just happens to walk up. Classic sitcom moment where Nia's standing right behind, hearing her say all of the things.
It was like an old episode of Three's Company there for a minute. Wow. She's right behind me. Oh,
Don Knotts' face. Yep. And that leads into their match where I don't know which was quicker, this match or the following match, but Nia Jax makes rather fast work of Emma with the Samoan drop for the win.
poor Emma. Emma's in a bad way, you guys.
Yeah.
Emma's in a bad
It's
way.
like hashtag give Emma anything.
Yeah.
Hey, she's lucky to have TV time. Let's just put it that way. Win, lose, whatever. She got a promo. She got a match. Good night for Emma. It's either that or not be seen at all.
Point taken.
And I would rather be seen and die than not be seen.
I mean, think about it. How many matches did Damian Sandow win when he was doing all the impersonations and dressing up like people?
When he was Mizdow.
Mizdow. Oh, yeah. Mizdow should come back and be part of the Mizdourage.
Oh, he could.
That was a great time for him.
Fun.
But he wasn't winning anything. Guess what? He was one of the stars of the show every single week.
Yeah, you look forward to be like, oh, what's he coming out as now? What's going to happen?
So, yeah, so Nia Jax, easy win. Don't know where she goes from here,
Yeah,
but we'll find out.
what was it? Hashtag give Emma CPR.
Give her.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next, it's time to walk with Elias, y'all. He sings a lovely song about R-Truth. That someone gets interrupted by R-Truth. And I don't know, what match is quicker, this one or Nia Jax? I want to say this.
I want to say this one.
He started by singing R-Truth's song at the beginning, right?
Yeah, he was like
And it
kind
was
of making fun
hilarious.
of
And then he stopped. He only went like 2 lines into it and stopped. And I was like, "Why? Just keep doing this.
Like,
This
just
is
keep
so
going."
funny." And it got over. The crowd popped for it, but he didn't. He shifted gears pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
he should do covers of everybody's entrance music. That would actually help him to get over.
Yeah.
Not
It worked.
even kidding. That would
Yeah,
legitimately
It
help.
worked when he did it for a minute. It was like, keep doing this. This is hilarious.
People love Elias. I mean, I think.
Well, they were definitely loud for him. They started clapping along.
Kids'
and
reactions.
He was like, "No, this isn't clapping time."
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Don't do this. He's really enjoying being like that heel character. I remember the first or second time he came out and had his little spotlight, and the boos were thunderous, and I love that. I love the hate. So yeah, I hope people will do the love to hate him thing.
WWE fans do not like singing, right? Elias on Raw, Aiden English on SmackDown. If you're coming out and singing, you are getting booed.
I will say this: I'd rather listen to Aiden English than Elias.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Why do you want
to listen to either of them?
I enjoy Aiden English's voice.
Oh.
I think his
Okay.
lyrics are rather clever.
Well.
Okay.
And I really enjoy Aiden English overall as a performer. Not that I don't enjoy Elias. To me, I've been around too many campfires where the guy pulls out the guitar to impress chicks. It's just not, you know.
He seems like that guy.
Yeah, he does seem like that. All of it makes me miss Nikolai Volkov. Remember when you just come out and sing the Russian national anthem? The Soviet national anthem?
It's the only Russian I know.
Loved it.
I can sing the national anthem in Russian.
Yeah, right.
Thanks to wrestling. So weird. Next, Kurt Angle promised a surprise, and he brought one out. He brought out the free agent who hasn't been on Raw in over a year, John Cena. Free agent.
Yes. And we
Free
can
agents
see
can be anywhere.
Yeah,
Raw,
anywhere.
SmackDown, NXT,
205 Live.
205,
There you
the
go.
Mae Young Classic,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Global Force Wrestling,
Total Divas.
You never TNA. You never know. Both,
Yes,
both
yes,
Global Force
TNA.
and
Sure.
TNA.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never
Look
know
out.
where John Cena's gonna be.
He can go anywhere he wants, and which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He hits the ring and says he's only there to see one person, and somehow Roman Reigns just knew he was talking about him. His ears were burning, or whatever that phrase is.
Apparently. Maybe they pass notes in the back, be like, hey, check this box, yes or no. Do you want to come out and fight with me?
Oh, Derek Fisher and Cheryl says, I just bought a Walk with Elias t-shirt today since it's buy one, get one for $1 on WWE Shop. I didn't know that.
Was that the one you got for $1?
For $1?
Yeah, is that the deal right now?
What?
Tell us, guys. Do some research
Wow.
for us. Let us know. Is that the deal?
Buy us
Can you-
some stuff.
It's like you can buy a t-shirt for 50
Yeah.
cents.
Let's all have a wish list.
I've never lived in that world.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yes, Roman Reigns, they face off after their Twitter beef over the past couple of weeks. Reigns says, why don't you say everything to my face? Cena's like, I'm not really here to talk. And as they're about to fight, Miz hits the ring, and this is where, whew,
Right?
once again, Miz on point, y'all.
Oh my God, his tea was
great.
scorching.
Hobo, you're
He
one of my
was
favorites.
not pulling anything.
You're one of my favorite talkers in the game. What do you think of this?
He he's able to sort of tap into what everybody is thinking and feeling and use it against them. He wasn't just against Roman Reigns or John Cena. He was against both of them
Right.
and the audience. The audience too was at fault because they weren't sure what they were supposed to be doing either. And because of all of them were taking away from his time because he is the absolute perfect narcissist. And that this whole promo was about him and them taking away from him what was rightfully his, opportunities and time.
Yeah,
Was brilliant.
I absolutely adored him saying, so how many moments are the two of you
Yeah.
going to get? And I was just like, well, and I threw my remote in the air. I'm like, well, this is done.
Yeah.
I'm invested. You
It's
got
a little,
me.
This current incarnation of the Miz character, it's like he does these promos that cut really like close to the bone, where it's
Yeah.
like a little bit of a shoot, for lack of a better term, right? Like it just dips into that territory. And this one was like that too. And the crowd ate it up. That Boston
yeah.
crowd, they were
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of, you know, SummerSlam sort of a mini WrestleMania, and this was sort of a mini like night after WrestleMania Raw crowd.
Yeah, it
and
was.
They got, it was, right? Like
Each
with
one
the chanting, the
slipped every
reactions of the,
year.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they loved that stuff from Miz. They ate it up.
And I think SmackDown Live is going to be just about as crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's going to be the fourth day in
Yeah,
Vegas.
or
where
everyone will
you're
just be
gonna
hungover.
leaving.
And a lot of people are going to all four. It's a lot to handle.
That's too much.
They're going to need a vacation after that.
It's like going to Wrestling Vegas. It's just a lot.
I'm not. Yeah, I couldn't handle that.
Nope.
I just go to work, you know.
Yeah.
Like going to shows. How do y'all sit that long? My ass would be killing me.
You're used to walking the railroads. That's
I
why.
am. I stand up in the studio and watch the show because I can't sit that long. 3 hours of sitting. God, you're killing me. Just,
I know.
I gotta stand.
Trust me.
How do y'all do it? It's beyond me.
That's what hot dog and beer breaks are for. So
I guess so. Well, the
You're right, I
Miz.
haven't had enough beer. Not nearly enough beer today.
That's good to know. Maybe
Well, bourbon counts, Hobo.
Yeah.
It counts.
That either. I'm terribly dry right now.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
terribly dry.
Well, I mean,
How
that's a
dry
step.
I am.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction.
Right direction? No, sir. That's the wrong direction.
Okay. You just want to forget, huh?
Yeah.
I figured. So the Miz just on fire, says he's sick of them both. Samoa Joe hits the ring, tells Roman that he owns him, tells Cena just to stop, and he said if anyone's going to be your partner, it's going to be Joe.
No one arguing with Joe?
No.
Why would
Don't
anyone?
argue with Joe.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you gotcha, betcha.
I liked Roman Reigns in this segment. He seemed really high. He kind of just looked confused a lot of the time, and he only said like one sentence.
That's a really good point.
They're saying
I was like, Roman Reigns is stoned right now.
He had that.
Totally.
He almost had the vibe of in Half Baked, the guy on the couch.
Yeah. He was just confused. He was like, what's John Cena doing here?
He had the Stephen Wright vibe going on.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe people started improvising a bit too much, so he was like, "This isn't in the script."
Well, Miz couldn't say Barclays, so
Yeah, that's
John
right.
had to have a very snappy retort.
what did he say? I thought he did it on purpose. No.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
You
He
don't-
stumbled on
What
it.
do you call it?
He's something just
something.
mush mouthed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
he just stumbled on
Hey,
it.
it happens.
He's
just
like,
stumbled on it.
"I've been to a lot of cities, okay?"
yeah.
It happens
am I.
all the time. I completely understand. Next, we got some Cruiserweight action after Neville took back and became the first time ever two-time Cruiserweight champion at SummerSlam. Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Grand Metalik with a perfect moonsault, landing right on his damn feet after taking out two dudes. And Rich Swann pull off the win with the lumbar check. But wow. 205 Live, they bring the action. The question is, who do people care about besides Neville and Tozawa? That's the question.
Crowd brought the action too. They were doing the wave all through this match.
Oh
Jeez,
goodness!
just-
Oh yay! I mean, it was solid. I mean, what else can we say? They do the work. They tell the story. Through action. It's compelling in that way, but then I guess it's just at the particular point in the show where your eye kind of wanders a bit.
No one's ever satisfied. You can't please everybody. The people say they want high flying and they get high flying, but they don't really want high flying. You give them story, but they don't want story. There's too much talking. There's not enough talking. There's not enough setup. There's not enough execution. You cannot please everybody.
You can't.
Just go out there and have a good time and do your best.
Yeah.
And let your work speak for itself.
And 205 Live has characters. They have turned a lot of these guys into being characters that I think are Drew Gulak. I like what the character he's going with. Neville is just, when they showed him at TakeOver and he just didn't even show any emotion, I died laughing. Where he just sitting there with his glasses like
Yeah, he's so great right now.
20 seconds, just him like this.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
These guys are put in a tough spot.
Speaking of Neville, we go backstage and he says nobody should have been surprised that he won last night and he regained his title. Titus and Tozawa show up and they challenge him tomorrow night on 205 Live. Rematch for the Cruiserweight Championship. I was a little surprised, Markeia, that Tozawa lost it after 6 days, 5 days.
I was just like, I wanted them to ride that wave. I wanted that to be for, the Titus brand worldwide, to just ride that for at least a week, something like that. I didn't want to turn over that quickly. I'm surprised that they did that, and I don't understand the reasoning why behind that.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
It was
well,
too easy.
Neville, he's a great retaining champion. He's great with the belt on, but I just wanted there to be a little bit more chase, a little bit more back and forth. At least give us a week before we have that.
Yeah, my question is why not just keep Neville's title reign continuing and make it historic instead of just, boom, it's gone, now it's back.
Yeah.
Just my thought.
I don't know, but I can say I was not surprised because I predicted that this would happen last week on this very show. And I may have been in only 48th place, but I did get that one right.
Congrats. That kept you from dropping down to 57.
There you go.
That's true.
That's
So
pretty
it
great.
kept you in the top 50.
Yep.
Moving on, Jason Jordan tells his daddy that he wants to wrestle Finn Balor tonight. And here's another dig at Miz, because Kurt Angle asked him, something about the Miz, and Jason Jordan's like, I'll deal with the Miz another time. He's like, tonight I want Finn Balor, and Kurt Angle says, Are you sure you're ready for that kind of competition? That's another dig at Miz. He's the IC champion. Come on, man.
You're gonna be surrounded by, 3 additional other people.
Still,
Finn Balor is a one-man wrecking crew.
it's still a diss, and I hope the Miz uses it.
So he'll just have like another scorching hot thing to say next week. Be like, Angle, let me just talk to you for a second. Then come over here to the Miz corner. Have it decorated, have the Miz Taraj there. Like, what was that crap last week? What was that? And his voice would just get higher and higher. Like, you just want to...
What do you mean?
What is that? You know what? I want a rematch. I want to fight your boy.
Also, Kurt should have said, you lost last night. You're not getting any match tonight. Go back to NXT.
Go to your room.
No, he asked his dad. And that's sort of what we're getting into.
Right.
Now he's starting to do him favors.
Right.
Granted, it's a smaller favor. It's not a title match, but it's a match with a competitor who's coming off a win out of SummerSlam and has really got a lot of momentum rolling with him. So now here's a little favor, which this might turn into a bigger favor later on. We got to keep this in check. If this gets out of control, we're going to see a complete turn of power. It's going to be really ugly and nasty. And we got to watch it.
That could be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that
think
could be
about
fun.
it. He can ask for more favors.
Right.
Now. Be like, hey, you know what? I'd love to go up against Dean Ambrose. Let's
It
just
starts small.
Let's just
Trust
do
me.
this.
Yeah.
I know all about abuse of power. It's been happening in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood for the past 6+ months.
Sure.
With Nico Marquez and Peter Avalon in The Office, just ruining stuff. So it can get ugly, that's for sure. Moving on, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, they start to have a celebration in the ring with the brand new Raw Tag Team Championships. And the Hardy Boys come out and said, we've been just owning the game for 20 years. Let's own the game again tonight. Let's have a historic match. We had Ambrose and Rollins taking on the Hardy Boys in just a good, fun competition match.
Yeah. That's solid.
What a good fun. This was
fun.
one of the best matches,
Yeah.
tag team matches I have seen in a long time. Just the way this match ebbed and flowed, and obviously Ambrose and Rollins know all of the Hardys' repertoire, but still the Hardys managed to innovate and keep themselves fresh and sharp, and are able to take on these guys who are so much younger, so much quicker, but they still managed to bring it to them. And I honestly thought that the Hardys might win tonight.
I did too. They had me. They had me. Yeah.
That whisper of the
I did too.
wind was
Close,
beautiful
right?
over
Yeah.
the top rope.
Oh man, it had so many of those moments, and it just ebbed back and forth. And you see the difference in tag team styles between these two. The Hardys, they do tag team moves. Sure. That's what they do. Both of them working together to achieve a certain goal. But you have Ambrose and Rollins, they do combos. So one guy will hit one thing, and then they'll follow it up, and before you know it, you've been hit 3 or 4 times in a very, very quick, very successful fashion. And it's just a two different styles.
Yeah. It's kind of like arcade game, like in Marvel vs. Capcom or like Injustice 2, where it's like you do the right combination, and then like 1, 2, 3, you've got different characters coming out and doing their moves on you at one time.
And the combos are sometimes more dangerous because you're hit from a whole lot of different angles. That it's not the hits you see coming that actually do damage. It's the ones you don't see. So all of a sudden you have somebody coming to the front. They hit you in the front. They hit you in the back, and you're stunned. You didn't see it coming. That does more damage than actually seeing it happen. The potential's there for much more damage.
And not to mention Sheamus and Cesaro also watching the match from backstage. We got a lot of interesting ways we can go now with Ambrose and Rollins being tag team champions, and the Hardys just once again proving they ain't lost a step.
Yeah.
No, dude.
This match had my favorite Booker T line of the night when after
You
Dean
gotta love it.
after Dean hit a big move, Booker said, "Dean's really using his noodle."
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's really using his noodle.
Yeah.
He meant his head. And I thought that I really enjoyed this match. I thought this was such a weird match to throw out there with no build-up at all. It felt like it should be a bigger match that you could build to, and it felt so odd to me that I am going to predict that something is shifting sometime soon. Maybe the Hardys are going to SmackDown, or Rollins and Ambrose aren't going to stay together that long as a team. I think something's going on that made them say, "Let's do this now because we're not going to get to do this at a later time."
Or
That's
the
what
Hardys.
That's the vague prediction I'm gonna make.
Or the Hardys just made their case to be in a title match down the road.
Yeah. Or it's that you
Sure.
have Rollins and Ambrose, and we have all this history that they have behind them. You can feel that history when they're in the ring. They just, reconciliated, and now they're tag team champions. I think that's enough big, build up for them to go up against anybody on the roster, and especially with Hardy brothers. I want it to get to the point. I love the build up that they did with Sheamus and Cesaro. After they did the best of 7, and then they were put together with Foley, and then like off to the races. They hated each other. Oh, they respect each other. And now they have, tag team entrance music that just works really well for them. And I want Ambrose and Rollins to do that. I want there to be some sort of
we did with
eventually.
the Shield, so it's like...
Yeah, but, their own thing, not a Shield thing.
Right, they're not
and
the
Ambrose
Shield.
And
They're just the
Rollins things. They're 2/3 Shield. Just the Eld. They're the Eld.
Yes.
The Fellowship of the Eld.
They are not the smoothest tag team right now.
Yeah.
They had a few things tonight that didn't quite work. Some misfires. Granted, they got the win, so obviously it counts in their favor. But putting them against the Hardys, you get to see that they are not as cohesive a team as some of their potential opponents.
Yeah.
So it's sort of one of those games where you're constantly watching them to see when it's going to break down and when they might lose, because it's them against all of the other teams right now have been together much longer, are much more cohesive than they are, and one misstep and you lose the championships. One bad night and you lose the belts. That's it.
And that was proven last night. Before we move on, of course, the Hardy Boys taking on Ambrose and Rollins was a tag team match.
You know it's the Mac Miller. Coming to get it on. Get out of my way. I'm coming to thunder and lightning and striking. I'm inviting you all to the storm. Feel the
I like Mark's Teddy Long
That's
face.
nice and slow.
It's like,
Mark's like making love to the song.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Everyone in chat room was just yelling, "Come on, you know what kind of match it is." I'm like, "Calm down."
But that also means you can't do it for the main event either. They wasted it. They spoiled it.
Oh no.
oh.
What? We can't
There's
do 2 in
enough
1 show.
Teddy
mean,
Long love to go around.
That's up to the Wizard of Oz. It's for-
I'm sure.
Holla,
I'm
please.
sure Teddy made more than one tag team match in a show when he was general manager.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, Miz Taraj with Joe backstage. They're trying to plan strategy, and Joe just says, "Shut up. You guys secure the perimeter, and you do your weird thing that you always do, and I'll do the rest." Bam. Simple as that.
I don't say it's weird. When do you say it's weird? It's not weird.
I don't know.
It's effective. He's dangerous.
Okay.
That dangerous thing. Call him weird. Just because he wears a towel. Who
He
cares?
called him weird. I don't know.
He gets sweaty. It's normal. It's normal, I tell myself.
He wears an infinity scarf, I think is what it is.
Was
it's
that it?
Infinity scarf, I think is what
Oh,
it is.
wait.
No,
He was?
it's a towel. He wears a
Oh,
towel.
you think about The Miz or Joe?
Joe.
Oh, I
Oh,
think you
okay,
meant
because
The
I'm
Miz.
like, out of the two of them, Miz would wear an infinity scarf. I mean, that's Jericho's thing, the scarf thing, but
Right,
an
but an
infinity scarf,
infinity, yeah.
only Jessica Jones has that right now. So if somebody from WWE wanted to grab that, that'd be cool.
Start with Jessica Jones, Shawnee. Start with Jessica Jones.
No, he'll be spoiled for everything else.
I don't think he could handle that.
I can't promise.
Jessica
so
Jones is too
good.
dark for Johnny over there.
It's pretty dark. I've
Like,
heard.
how could you
Yeah.
put this on
Are you-
TV? He'd cry.
I've
Yeah,
heard it's pretty dark.
Well, it's Netflix. It's it's R. It's the most R. She's not family friendly. She deals with some
almost-
strong.
I
It's
like
almost NC-17.
I like action. I don't mind dark at all. It's just yeah, that's a big commitment.
Yeah, you'd love Luke Cage though. That
sure I
that
would.
would be up your alley.
for sure.
The music alone.
Yeah.
Ooh, is it hip hop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real good hip hop.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
hail to the chief.
oh, I'm on board with that. Sasha Banks getting some booze as she hits the ring. Basically says the same thing Sasha always says. Now she's the 4-time champion. That's the only difference there. Alexa comes out and says after she defeats her, she won't be a legit boss. She'll be a legit loser. And Sasha asks if she wants to fight tonight. She's like, nah, not in front of these people in Brooklyn. Let's do it next week on Raw. So we're going to have the rematch for the Raw Women's Championship. I will say, I really thought their match was really good at SummerSlam. And apparently these two legitimately don't like each other in real life as well.
Oh, so bring some of that fire
Yeah,
to the
wow.
ring.
There's some legit not likingness going on.
Friction makes heat, and heat sells tickets.
The match was great at SummerSlam. I think between the two women's matches, I feel like, congrats to Natalya, by the way. That match just it didn't have a lot of fire to it. And next thing you know, Natty wins. I'm like, oh, good, wow, okay. Where's the?
Yeah, I was surprised at that with Naomi tapping out on the sharpshooter.
Yeah, me too.
I did not expect that. I thought she'd do like a roll underneath or something else, and
it didn't feel like she had a lot of momentum coming into the show.
Yeah.
Natalia.
I mean, she had a lot of momentum jumping over the top rope, but you know, as far as the match, I was like,
Yeah, but I mean, that's the match next week. SummerSlam was very good, and that's anything else from that? Little back and forth?
I mean, watching last night, and I brought this point up to you, Johnny.
Yeah.
No one else has seemed to notice.
Please bring this up. Yes.
Sasha Banks actually should not have the championship right now. And I was expecting Alexa, the person who pulls strings the way she does, to make her case to strip Sasha Banks of the championship tonight. Because when you watch the tape back, Sasha Banks wins the match by causing Alexa to tap out. Her left arm was damaged. She actually couldn't complete the grip on the Banks statement with her left hand. So instead, she grabs her gauntlet. She uses her own gauntlet to force Alexa to tap, which is a disqualification.
Oh.
She used an additional tool,
a foreign object,
if you will, to actually win that match. Thus, she should not be your current champion.
That's a really interesting point, and the fact that, well, yeah, obviously no one brought it up.
Yeah, nice grab,
Everybody
though.
Well, it was obvious to me because I play the game. If somebody beat me in that fashion, my next move would be go, you got to take that away from her. She didn't win. She cheated to win. That is a cheat. If anybody was to grab any other item, absolutely anything else to win the match, they'd be disqualified. She grabs her own gauntlet, which is as good as wrist tape. If you're going to use wrist tape to choke somebody to win a match, and it's a regular title match, then you're disqualified. She grabbed her own gauntlet, Alexa Bliss tapped, thus she should have been disqualified, thus she should not have the title.
Alexa, are you listening? Make your case to Kurt Angle.
There you go.
Nobody's
let's see
paying
that
attention.
Yeah,
It's
let's see
interesting
on
that
Raw.
nobody brought that up.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me when Sasha and Foxy were wrestling, and then remember it was, oh yes, 1, 2, 3, but Foxy's left or right shoulder was not all the way down. So a lot of people complained about it, and then that next week they had them do a rematch. Foxy ended up winning, and then, you know, Noam Dar strutting around like a peacock, but it was a real fun time for everybody for a while, and then the next match after that, Sasha won, and, you know, everybody's, you know, everything's normal again.
By the way, chat roll going nuts for you, Hobo.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the details, man. The details make everything.
They do.
Yeah.
They really do. Finn Balor taking on Jason Jordan. Finn does not go for the handshake early on. And, you know, like you mentioned, we were talking about it beforehand, Jordan is fantastic, looks great. Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt put on a hell of a match at SummerSlam. And once again, this was another fantastic match. Jordan was in control. All it takes is one slip up. Balor goes to the corner, catches him, sling blade, missile drop kick, coup de grace, bam, Finn wins.
It was a really good match.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. I hope that there's some follow up storyline wise on what, because like we mentioned, Jordan went to Kurt Angle and said, "Please, can I have this match with Finn?" And Angle said, "Are you sure you're ready for it?" He said, yeah, I'm ready for it. And then he lost the match.
Yeah,
So-
but it was such a great match.
It was a
though.
great match,
Yeah.
but still, I think that storyline-wise, that should or could lead to a segment next week where there's some follow-up there.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't give you matches that I don't think you're ready for yet, son.
Yeah,
Could
but
be
then-
Once
the next
again, it's a
chapter
shot.
of this.
It's a shot at the Miz, in my opinion.
Still?
Not everything's about the Miz, Johnny.
To the Miz it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
about his moment. But something that I do like, I mean, think about it. How do you get better? You go up against people that are better or even slightly better than you, so then you up your game. So this is actually, I don't know if this is a heel or face move to be like running to daddy asking for matches that, you know, with people that are better than him or are more experienced than him. It's like it depends. It depends on which way they want to go with it.
Well, here's the problem. He didn't earn the opportunity.
Right.
During that match, the early goings of it, Jason Jordan sticks his hand out. Balor had the better of him in the moment. Beautiful drop kick. Got 110% of it. Just nailed Jason Jordan. And Jason Jordan's like, man, you know what? That was pretty good. Sticks his hand out, wants to shake Balor's hand. Balor does not accept, kicks him in the gut, takes him down, and kicks him in the back. And now, my reasoning behind that is, he being Kurt Angle did not ask Balor if he wanted this match. This is a slight against Finn Balor. Because Jason Jordan did not earn this spot. He did not earn this match. He asked for it. This is actually a slight against Finn Balor.
But Finn's not a complainer. I don't think we're not gonna see him bitch about it.
No, but he did kick him really hard in the breadbasket when he went for a handshake.
Sure.
He's not gonna complain about it, but the actions speak for themselves in the ring.
Right.
All that means is Angle is upsetting how things are working around here, and people are taking notice. And it's if he continues to do this, there's going to be a coup.
I would like to see it gradually happen if that's the case. You know, and but what you're saying is we're going to have almost like an uprising.
Yeah.
It's
People are not going to listen to Angle anymore if he keeps making decisions with his heart instead of his head.
Yeah, I wonder which wrestler would be the tipping point for this. You know, which one would be like, no. How about no, you crazy bee? You know, maybe Braun.
Brock.
He'd be like, I don't think anyone is that out of touch with reality. It's like, I want to fight Brock Lesnar.
Can I wrestle Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Can I be in the last match? You mean the main event? No.
But you've lost all your matches for 6 months.
Just the one before the credits.
I think I'm ready.
Yeah, it starts small, man, but it's a slippery slope. It's the slippery slope principle. It's just one little thing moves, and then eventually it starts to be bigger things, and everything's out of control. You just gotta watch it, and just like this, it starts small, and down the line, maybe 6 months to a year, everything is out of control.
Well, let's hope it's a slow burn, because that's what we like to see.
This is why you don't spoil your children.
No, sir.
Moving on to the main event, Miz and Samoa Joe taking on John Cena, free agent John Cena, and Roman Reigns. What do you guys think of this? Obviously, Miz goes for the skull-crushing finale. Cena reverses it into an A for the win. About as predictable as any John Cena victory. But overall, thoughts on this?
It was a pretty fun UPW reunion in the ring tonight.
Right.
There you go.
You got Samoa Joe, The Miz, and John Cena, all of which started right here in California.
Wow.
UPW.
How about that?
So
You'll never hear Cena say that, but yeah.
No, but there's plenty of video footage to back that up. But I think these guys, all of them are so comfortable in that ring and comfortable with each other. They actually, you could see them have some fun during this match.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, Cena was...
Oh, man, it was like he was at a family picnic.
Yeah.
And he was just joshing around with everybody, sassy mouth, just get out.
But
Being
I'm
a
glad...
free agent is fun.
But I'm glad that Joe and Miz both got tired of it and walloped him, because...
They hate his happy attitude. They just hate it because they are working so hard, and he just comes in and is, everything's great, everything's lighthearted, I'm making the most money around here. DDT!
Yeah. I loved it.
I enjoyed Cena having all that fun, and I enjoyed other people, walloping on him, too.
Well, think about it.
It's good both ways.
Wouldn't you, though, if your opponent is literally like trying to play violin with the crowd, and you're supposed to be in the middle of a match? I understand the crowd is being weird. There was the beach ball, there was the wave.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's like you need to do... So by them hitting Cena, it got the crowd hopefully back into it a little bit.
Yeah. The best part about Cesaro tearing up that beach ball was it was a great funny moment at SummerSlam, but the worst part about it is there's going to be more beach balls than ever now in the audience. Everyone's going to be like, this is a thing now.
There's a lot of beach balls, dude.
Yeah.
Well, our very own Scott Narver destroyed a beach ball.
I know.
That's
it was
true.
Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah. Cesaro stole his gimmick.
Yeah.
Cesaro stole Scott Narver's beach ball gimmick.
I'm going to bring it up to Scotty
It's
on
gimmick
Compadres.
infringement.
Yeah,
I thought
we
the
should
match
start
was
a
okay.
hashtag.
I am surprised that it looks like we're going to have John Cena against Roman Reigns at this next Raw pay-per-view. I mean, it appears that way. They didn't officially make the match.
Hey, they wanted it tonight and they didn't get it.
Yeah, that's true, right? But we're gonna have Strowman against Lesnar, Cena against Roman. If that's the way that plays out, that's a huge. Those are two WrestleMania main event caliber matches on this next pay-per-view. If that's the way it goes, I'm surprised they're going there that fast.
I'm very intrigued to see what the audience does during Cena versus Reigns.
I know, right?
Well, they chanted, "You both suck" at them tonight. Or whatever they say.
we know it'd be a good match, but it's also kind of like I kind of don't want to see it. I kind of want Cena with somebody else. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm okay with this one. I think. Cena reigns.
We're okay with it.
Sure.
But I can tell you, a Los Angeles crowd is not going to be okay
Oh,
with
boy.
it. They're going to eat them alive.
Yeah.
That's going to be something else.
Yeah.
And they'll be throwing like tofurkey at them and everything.
You know what it is? That's the kind
and
of
their
match.
skinny jeans.
And I understand Cena.
Those aren't the people that do that sort of thing.
I know,
It's the
I've
people
been
in the
doing this.
upper levels that you got to win.
That's where I'm at.
That's the kind of match. If I understand Cena led off SummerSlam. That's the kind of match, honestly, that should lead off No Mercy because the crowd's going to be hot to start and they might not be as a-hole-ish.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That would be the place for it. Definitely at the top of the show because they got nothing to lose. This is for just the ability to talk about who you beat. So yeah, this would be great to start off the show.
And you don't want to go in right before Brock and Braun. You don't want anything messing that up.
No.
That probably makes sense. Well, overall, that is pretty much it for Raw this week. Any final thoughts, you guys, before we put ourselves over?
The show felt good. Better than last week, that's for sure.
I mean, our show always feels good.
I'm not saying, I'm saying them. They're the ones who have a standard to live up to. We're always raising the bar.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are the bar.
Yeah.
The bar.
The bar.
Well, Markeia McCarty, why don't you put yourself over?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Markeia McCarty. That's MarkeiaMcCarty. I will be on the panel of our Mae Young West. Oh my God, Mae West. Yeah, the Mae Young Classic that is happening. That we may have a show that's happening this Wednesday at 7, but we most definitely will be Wednesdays at 7 starting August 30th. So please join us here on AfterBuzz TV. Other people that are on the panel with me is TK Trinidad. You know her from the Glow After Show. Denise Salcedo. I hope I said her last name right. You know her from
Salcedo, yeah.
Salcedo, thank you. From the pay-per-view. And Anessa Barr, who you know that she was here with us on Raw. So, and then also, if you watch Defenders, we will be talking about that on Marvel Movie News. I can't talk anymore. On Marvel Movie News, that is on our sister network, which is AfterBuzz TV. I'm sorry. I'm gone. I'm gone. Everything's gone. Tuesdays, 2:30 p.m. on Popcorn Talk. Join us for Defenders Talk.
All right. Marc Warzecha.
Follow me on Twitter at Marc Warzecha, MarcWarzecha. I'm always posting dumb, ridiculous stuff about Raw while I'm watching Raw each week before this show. So follow along and post dumb stuff with me.
All right, Hobo.
Yep, you can find me on the Twitter at True Hobo. This week on Friday, I'll be wrestling at Wrestling Pro Wrestling. The show is titled Wrestling Pro Wrestling presents Russell Crowe Wrestling. Russell Crowe will not be wrestling. It'll be quite a show.
I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I want to hear about this. That's awesome.
You can check us out Wednesday at 4 p.m. We'll be covering NXT TakeOver Brooklyn #3, and then at 6 p.m. NXT for the week.
Good deal.
Go to nxt.spreadshirt.com for t-shirts.
All right. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Of course, you can watch us every single week. We're moving to the CW starting October 7th. 110 stations across the country, 7 a.m. Saturday mornings, which is just phenomenal. We have a live taping this Sunday, August 27th in Port Hueneme. If you're in Southern California, make sure you make it out. If not, download the Fight TV app. We want as big an audience as we could possibly get transitioning to the CW, which is really cool. Also, my comedy album still exists. It's going to be forever and ever. If you haven't gotten it yet, go to QuastoAlbum.com. The feedback has been so positive and heartwarming, and I really appreciate it. So QuastoAlbum.com. You can get it on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. All your needs right there on one website. And for now, I'd say that's about it. Mark B. Donica.
Way too late. But yeah, follow me at Mark B. Donica. Make sure to check out our Mae Young Classic show, either starting this week or next week. Hobo hit all of the NXT ones. Watch all of our other wrestling content. Tuesday, we have a SmackDown show. Wednesday, NXT. Thursday, Lucha Underground. And this week, make sure to check out Xbox 12360. The past 2 weeks, we have had NXT superstars Drew McIntyre and Aleister Black. Amazing interviews. Please check them out. This week, I want to tease that we've got somebody... Pretty cool. So make sure to check out.
That's not a tease.
That's a tease. No, dude.
Is it us?
Just to be safe.
Is it Carlito?
Just to be. Shut up. Just to be safe. It's not Carlito, but just to be safe, just make sure to tune into Xbox 12360 this Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Back to you, Johnny.
All right. Well, that's all we got, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll love it. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.